Chris. So my name is Ayub. I'm the sales manager for Litmos, and I'll be guiding the demonstration that we'll be showing today. And I hope you now all can see our screen, or at least my screen, which is the Litmos homepage. So it gives you a little bit of information in terms of what we have to offer and some of our key messaging items. But also on the call, we have our founder and vice president, Rich Chetwin, who's going to give a little overview as to how he started the company, his approach to the LMS, and perhaps some things that he thought he wanted to do different, and also where we're going with the product. So let me introduce Rich.
Hi, thanks, Ayub. Hi, everyone out there. So yeah, I mean, Litmos is a learning management system that's been around now for about 4 or 5 years. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on why we actually started Litmos in the first place. And what happened was we looked around the market about 4 years ago or 5 years ago, and there was a lot of discontent, a lot of people trying to use these learning management products, and they were finding them really hard to use. And we sort of dug a little deeper, and we found out that most of the LMSs that people were trying to use in their organizations, they had way too many features. They had all these things that people didn't actually need to run successful online learning. And so we sort of thought, okay, well, what is it that you actually do need to be successful? And we looked at a bunch of reports, and we surveyed a whole bunch of people, and we came down with sort of a core feature set of what an LMS actually needs to be really useful within an organization. And we set about building that. And we had a philosophy of always keeping things really simple, so making sure that things were fast and easy to use, not only for the administrator but also for the learner. Often a common complaint is that the learners have trouble getting into the LMS. The last thing that you want is for your learners to have trouble getting to the training that you've created. So yeah, we made it really easy and a nice lightweight experience, a bit more in line with today's kind of typical web apps like Facebook and Twitter and things like that, where you have a generally pretty usable experience that doesn't take a lot of training or learning just to get started. So that's kind of where we started out, and then where we're going now is that we've kept with our philosophy of keeping things really simple. We just provide that core set of tools, but we want to integrate with the other products that you use. So if there's any sorts of CRM products or lots of other systems that people are using these days, we want to make sure that Litmos fits in nicely with those. And you'll find that most LMSs don't actually have those kind of hooks or integrations with lots of other common used products. So we wanted to make sure that Litmos can set itself apart by fitting into an organization really well. So I think probably best to get started and show you how it actually all works and how it looks. And Ayub is the master at that, so I'm going to hand over to him, and I'll be by to answer any questions. So thanks for your time.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate that. So hopefully, as I mentioned, you can all see my screen now, which we've started with the Litmos homepage here. And again, you'll find some information about the product, as well as some pricing information, some features, as well as some customers that use us. And you'll also find information regarding the API, as Rich had mentioned, which helps us with the integration aspect in terms of how you can use the LMS and hook the LMS into some platforms and systems that you're using today to go back to that whole kind of story about we want to make this just really easy for people. So whether that is logging in from a system that you already have via single sign-on, or integrating data into other types of applications, that's part of our goal here. Not only to add features that people want natively within the application, but again, extending that further out into other applications that they're already using today. So what I'll do is I'll switch over to the Litmos portal that we have. And Litmos and both Rapid Intake are part of a larger software organization called Calidus Cloud. And they offer a suite of sales performance applications, from coaching to compensation to learning. And Litmos and Rapid Intake, we work together to provide that learning aspect of the product suite. And so what we'll do today is we'll go through the actual sales learning platform that we use here at Calidus. So it's an actual in-use instance of our learning platform. And as you can see here, we have some customization that has been done to the login page. We have our own Litmos URL here that we use for the sales team. You don't have to use the Litmos domain. You could use your own. So we give you that option within the platform itself. And here we've also customized the login page with some text information as well as the color scheme, for our organization. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in here as an administrator because, that's the rights that I have on the system. And you'll get to see, quickly as to what it looks like when you first log in from an administrative aspect. So again, the idea is to give you quick information, something that you can dive in for the first time and get an idea as to what it is you're looking at. And so here on the dashboard, you'll see a line graph that has both unique logins. If you're selling courses through the platform, so we have an e-commerce engine that makes it very, very easy for you to take your courses and make them available for sale. And so if you're using the platform to do that, we can also measure that for you, so keep track on the dashboard as to how many sales you're producing within your learning platform. And the same goes for courses completed. And all of these can be turned off or on to kind of update the graph according to what you want to see. And below here, you'll see some recent activities. So you can see that there's people that have logged in the last day or so. Some people have completed some courses that we've sent out recently. So again, just to give you that quick information as to what has most recently occurred on the site. The same goes for on the right-hand side here. You'll see some stats. So for example, if you're on a billing plan, the way that we bill people is by active users. And so when an administrator logs in, they can see how many active users they've had for that month and decide that, if they're on the appropriate plan or not, and make changes accordingly. I've kind of showed you quickly what you see when you log in as an administrator. For a lot of your users, they actually won't be seeing this because they'll be logging in as learners. And so to switch to what it would look like from a learner perspective, we have a toggle button up here. And all you have to do is you have to press that button. And now you'll see what it would look like for a majority of your users who log in for the first time. And so here you'll see the actual logo for the organization. You can have some welcome messaging for your learners that come in, either directing them on how to proceed or just welcoming them in general to the platform. The same goes with some news information, which you can add here as well. Again, just trying to make it an easy way to communicate, with your user base. And as Rich had mentioned earlier, part of our strategy was to make it very, very simple for people when they first log in to know what they need to do. Right? It's often that you'll log into platforms and it's not always user intuitive. People don't always know, what's the first thing I need to do when they get in. And so with this application, again, we just try to keep it very simple. And we see that right here we have the course to-do list. These are all courses that have been assigned to me. And you can see that I've had a various level of progress through these particular courses. I have some on Gmail training. I have a rapid intake sample mobile course that I've been assigned to take. The same with a product called Webcom. So all of these can be launched immediately through this by clicking this little button, and you press the play button here, and you would launch into the course. And so that shows you the course to-do list. I'll actually go through a course in a moment as we will create one on the administrative side. We'll assign it to a user, and then we'll take it from there. But just for the meantime, I'll give you a little high level as to what the learner view looks like. Here we have the course library, and this is not only the courses that have been assigned to me, but also those courses that have been made available for users to take. So let's say, for example, in our organization, there's some courses that are relevant to me as a salesperson, but there are also some others that might be beneficial for me to take. So, for example, we have an SE 101 training here, and this is for sales or systems engineers. So, if I want to kind of beef up my technical prowess, I might want to take this course. And so I would just launch into this course here because it's been made available by the SE department for other people to take. And so what you'll see here is we also have a search box. So if you have many courses, you can search by items here. So if I want to take just trainings that are with regard to Litmos, it'll pull that information here, and you can get a modified view as to what you have in your course library. The next up, what we have are called achievements. And this here is just to give people information as to what they've done on the site so far. So you can see that I've completed a number of trainings. It shows the date and the course title of each training that I've taken. And those courses that have certificates associated with them, then I can download those certificates here. And so, for example, if I was to download this Welcome to Litmos LMS certificate, I could then view that certificate here, and it's customized, with the logo that we put in. It pulls information from the system to auto-populate this certificate. So you would have uploaded a template, and then the template itself will say, okay, well, pull the first name, which in this case is mine, Ayub, and it'll pull a date that I completed the course, as well as the course title. And again, making it very easy for people to not only see what they've done, but also get to their achievements and print and download any certificates that they might have. Another feature that we have in the system is messaging. And messaging is similar to internal email, but for example, there might be learners that you have in the system that either you don't have their email address, or some people just don't have email at all. And this is a way for you to communicate with them and the system. And one of the benefits of using this is that, for example, let's say we wanted to maybe mail or send a message to everyone who's taking a particular course, and I want to ask them a question about this course. I could then send a message to that team or to anyone who's assigned to that course by maybe, for example, we have a course that's called Rapid Intake sample course, or the mobile course, or even the sales team. So you can send messages to groups of people that are somewhat optimized towards either the content or the teams that we have within the system. So just a way for you to communicate with people within your learning platform on different items that might come up. So that gives you kind of a little overview as to what the learner experience is like. If you have any questions about that, you can type those into the chat panel or to the questions panel, and we can answer those as they come along, and I can go through anything in more detail that you want to see. But the meat of what you'll see in this LMS platform is on the administrative side, so we'll switch back to that, which is where we originally started. And as you saw before, we went through that administrative dashboard. And what we'll do next is we'll go through the courses. So that's obviously one of the bigger parts of the system. And so here is where an administrator would have access to all of the courses that have been created within the system. And so you can see we have a number here. These don't necessarily need to be assigned to me. As an administrator, I can see all of them. I can make changes to them. So for example, if I have this new Litmos video, I can go in and, maybe I don't like this video, I can take it out. Maybe if I want to assign it to other people, I can do that here as well. I can add either existing people or import new people to be assigned to this course. So existing people would be people that we already have in the system. Importing new people would be new people who may not be in the system yet, and we want to invite them to create accounts and have access to this course that we've created. So when you go into the courses menu, let's say, for example, in this case, we want to create a new course. This is very easy to do. So we go to the courses menu. We'll go on the right-hand side here, and we'll say create a new course. And we'll give this course a title. And so we'll say Rapid Intake, I can't spell today, webinar. And we have some options for each course. So you can see that we can make it as part of the course library so that users can self-sign up. You can control the order in which the modules are taken. So if you upload multiple pieces of content, you can make it such that the learner has to progress through each one and complete each one before going on to the next. You also have some other options like completing by a certain date or within a certain time frame. So maybe you want this course completed maybe within 30 days of hire, or 90 days, or by a specific date for some type of compliance. Those can be set in the system. And they can also make it such that the course is compliant for a certain amount of time. So maybe, for example, people need to take some safety training once a year or once every 6 months. The system can control that as well. This is where we discussed, before I showed you how to upload or what it looks like when you have a certificate. This is where you go to actually upload that and create that. So we give you a tutorial on how to do that in case you have any questions, which you can see, for example, here on how you add a certificate to an online course. Again, it's pretty simple, and it shows you the different types of information you can customize each certificate with. So it's pretty easy to do, and we have a video that plays here as well if you have any questions on how to do that. And then also, once you create the certificate, you also do have the option to sell courses. And so here what we'll do is we'll take this course, and this is Rapid Intake webinar course, and we can sell it for, let's say, $99. We put a description here of what the course is about, which is a brief description as well as a full description. And that's just to show you on the e-catalog page where that text would show up. And we'll save this now. And now what we've done is we've created a course, and so now we want to add some content to it. So maybe we'll take a Rapid Intake SCORM package. So we'll just type SCORM here, and we'll choose a file that we want to upload. And in this case, they have the How to Battle Cancer with a Vaccine. And so we'll upload this into the LMS and make it available for our learners to take. And so as you can see here, we have the file that's uploading. And you can also put a description in so that when people first come to look at the course, they'll see what it's about and be given some high-level information as to what the course might be like. So what's happening now is that we're taking this file and we're making it available to be viewed. And the great thing about this particular course is that it works both on desktop and mobile environments. So if someone's coming in on a desktop, they can view it and view all the content. And the same goes for an iPhone and an iPad. And I'll actually show you what that looks like on both so you get an idea as to what the experience is like. And that's a huge value add. I mean, I can tell you that on the LMS side, we talk to a lot of people, and having content that's SCORM-based, where you have very interactive, very pleasurable experience taking these learning courses. Having the ability to log in from your phone or your iPad when you're at the airport to take this type of training content is really amazing. I mean, honestly, we talk to a lot of people that do a lot of different types of training, and being ahead of the curve with having content that's available on all devices is really a huge value add, because nowadays a lot of content's based in Flash, and you have this SCORM content that people to some degree are trying to re-engineer, and they're trying to make it such that people can log in for the first time from their iPhone and iPad and take the course. Because typically speaking, people don't think about that. Like, I'll get an email on my phone, I'll check it, I want to look, at what the content is like, I might even log into the LMS, and I'll have expectations that I'll want that to work. And I won't know that, okay, well, the SCORM package has Flash in it, so that isn't going to work. None of those things will probably occur to me. And so if you were to, use Rapid Intake Solution, as well as along with Litmos, where you can deliver this type of content, you don't have to worry about that process. People will, log in, they'll receive an email about the training they're assigned to, and no matter what device they come in on, they can take the training. So now what we're doing, as I mentioned, is that we're converting the SCORM content to display in the LMS. What might make sense to do is we can assign this to people and teams. But before we do that, maybe I should walk you through and tell you a little bit about how those two items work. So as we've just seen, we've created a course, we've added some content to the course. So now obviously we need to assign it to people, and we have a few ways of doing that within the system. One, I'm going to go to the People tab, and this is a directory of all of the learners that we have in the system. So you can see, we have a number as part of our organization, and this again here is searchable. And if you want to add people, there's a few ways of doing that. One is by using our user interface. We can enter, first name, last name, username, as well as an access level. In the system, we have 4 levels, depending on the rights that you want people to have, and I can go into a little bit of those later. But a learner is pretty self-explanatory. You essentially take training content. A team leader allows you to administer a team of people, so you're not an administrator. So perhaps in an organization that might be taking training from your learning platform, you might want to give someone within that organization rights to perhaps assign training to their users or run reports on their learners that they're in charge of. You would make them a team leader, and they could do that. The administrator gives you the ability to upload content and create courses in the site, as well as everything the team leader can do. And then the account owner allows you to access the customization features around the account, as well as handle the billing, etc. So as I mentioned, you can add people manually through this user interface. There's other ways you can do it as well. We can import people in bulk. So you can use a CSV file to upload up to 5,000 people at one time. It's pretty easy to do. You just download this template right here. You plug in the right information, which is typically first name, last name, email address, whatever information you want to include. and you would upload that and have people instantly in the system. So that's another way you can do it. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you can even do some integration using the API and have people come in via single sign-on. And for example, in that case, you wouldn't have to create any accounts. Those people that are signing in, if they have accounts in the system, then they're logged in automatically. And if they don't have accounts, then those accounts can be created on the fly with the single sign-on process. So populating the system with people is pretty easy to do. We give you a bunch of different options, and for the most part, it's worked out really well for our user base. Another thing that kind of goes along with people are teams, and teams are ways to group people such that you can either assign training to them or you can run reports on them. It just makes it easier for you to bulk administer in our organization different departments, such that if I created this, for example, this webinar training that we're creating right now, and I wanted to go out to the Calidus sales team, I could just select that team, assign the training to it. I can go and add a course. I can add a course to this team. As you can see that we have this rapid intake webinar course, and quickly assign it to this team as well as any sub-teams as well. So pretty straightforward on how to do that. So let's go back to our course here. We kind of covered people and teams and how that works. I'll show you how that works from a reporting aspect in a few moments. But in the meantime, we'll jump back to our course now, which should be ready to go. And so we'll go to this rapid intake webinar. And you can see now that we have this SCORM package that is ready to go. In this case, we will just go ahead and we'll assign it to an existing person. And that person is me. So you can see what that looks like when we go take it as a learner. And so now we have this course. We can also attach information to this, so we can put a notice board and some news that will show on the right-hand side of this course if you want people to read any type of accompanying information that might be specific to this course that you've created. And then you can also attach reference files. So for example, if you want them to have some read-along material or some offline material or any type of documents or really anything you can think of, you can attach that information here or that material here and have that be associated to the course. So what we'll do now is we'll switch back to the learner view and we'll show you what we've created. So now we have this rapid intake webinar course we've created. It has a SCORM package that's associated with it. And so now when I run into it, I can start taking the course. And as you can see here, it's how to battle cancer with a vaccine. You can go through the different slides. And here we have, I believe it's a video file. And all of that plays within the system. And so now what I'll do is I'll exit this, I'll go back, and what we'll also do is we'll say, okay, well, hey, what would this be like if we were to log in by using an iPad? So what would the experience be like for someone who's doing that? And so now I will go back and I'll go to my home screen, and you can see now that I have a different login page that looks like it has kind of some touch features to it. And so I will log in here. And once I log in, oh, that's odd. I picked the wrong one, I guess. Okay, I think I did something wrong here with my username and password. So let me start that again. And I'll go back to my sales team, Calidus. And there we are. See, now we're in. And this is a different interface that one would experience using the iPad. And it's a more simplified version. We still have the same type of information that we kind of gave you before in that dashboard. And if we were to go to the courses menu, we can see that, again, it has that touch type of look and feel to it. And if I was to take this rapid intake webinar course and I was to log in here and take this SCORM package, you'll see that you can access the same content. It can just start off where you last viewed it if you'd like. And so we can go there and you can view the same content no matter what the device is. And like I said, this type of experience I haven't seen with any type of authoring tool before. And like I said, being able to provide this to your customer base is pretty fantastic from what I've seen. And so now we'll go back, and like I said, you can view all the same information. And if you're on the iPad, you can also switch to desktop view if you don't like the mobile optimized interface. And so now what we'll do is we'll go back again to our desktop version. And we'll log back in. And here we are. Let's go back. Actually, I'm going to open this up in a new browser because apparently my Safari is getting confused as to why I'm switching back from so many different types of views. So I'll go in here. And so now we're back into the desktop interface. And we'll go back, as you see, we went through the course. As I showed you, we had that rapid intake webinar course. We have that information here. We can just log in and take the course immediately. And we'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. And so now we'll switch back to the admin view. And, here we have different aspects that you can take a look at. Like I said, we went through people, we went through teams. Of course, a lot of people want to see reporting information. So that's always, part of using the LMS is that you want to see what the reports look like. And so here we've also made it, again, try to make it as easy as possible for people to extract information from the LMS. So we have reports on courses, on assessments, on surveys that you create, user reports, as well as team reports. So here, for example, I can go in here and look at courses, and you can see all the different courses that have been taken in the system. And as you can see here, each one of these reports is available to be exported in PDF or Excel format. So let's say we want to take a look at, for example, where's the training that I want to see that has some, actually here's one I know. We just recently did this Gmail tips and tricks. So here you can see, for example, all the people, all the users. You can look at all results. You can just see, okay, well, I just want to take a look at the people that have completed it. So I can quickly view and see, okay, well, all these individuals out of the people that have been assigned the training have taken the training. And so I can take a look at Dan here. And Dan's taken all the different modules. You can see the date in which he attempted it, the time taken on each module. So one thing to keep in mind is that, sometimes people take trainings and you don't know exactly, how much time they spent, going through slides or watching a video. We keep track of that here. And the same goes for content that you might embed. So for example, one of the things that I was going to show you on the courses is that you can also add other types of content along with the SCORM package. So for example, if I was to go in this rapid intake webinar, I can also include, embedded content from other sites and keep that as part of the course. I can also link to other websites and include their content from the website as part of the course. So, the way in which you can create courses is pretty simple within the site, and we give you a lot of options in terms of the type of content that you want to include as part of the course that you're creating. So as I mentioned here, if we were to go back into the reporting feature, you can see all of those different types of pieces of content and, some information and statistics on each one. Another aspect that we have to reporting is creating your own reports. So maybe you want something that's a little bit more specific and granular as opposed to what you might find in a quick report. So you can do that in our custom reporting feature. And here we can go to, for example, a user report, and we can create a new report. And we can have settings as, do we want everyone? Do we want specific people? In which we type the name of the person, or maybe specific teams. Both would be included here. So you can run those specific to the type of information that you want to receive. You can also have it based on all courses and selected modules as well. So in this case, we'll just do it on everyone and all courses, so we could run this report. And once we do that, for example, now I have a quick report on all the different users and all the different courses that they've taken. So for example, this Gmail one's fairly popular that a lot of people have taken. For myself here, you've seen that I've done a number of them, and you can go through and see, okay, well, what have I done? So I took this Gmail training. Out of them, I only took one attempt at one of the modules here, and that was the date that I took it. So that information is available right there. And I have another account in the system as well, so you can see quickly as to what I've done. It's all through the browser, all very simple to do. And if you also want, you can open this as an Excel email file, or an Excel file, a CSV, or you can schedule to have this email sent to you with this report. And so in this case here, you have the ability to have this particular report sent to you on either right now or on the first every month or every Monday or daily. So if you don't want to have to go into the system and have to run the report yourself, you can have it such that the system will do the work for you and send it to your email inbox to see what has occurred from your team or in regard to a specific course. Like I said, we just try to make it as simple as possible for you to get the information that you're looking for from a reporting aspect. I kind of went through messaging already. One of the things I also wanted to show you, which we kind of touched on when we first created our course, was the e-commerce engine. And what we'll do here is we'll show you what that looks like. So every Litmos page, every Litmos account has an e-commerce page. This comes as part of the solution itself. So no matter which account you have the ability, if you so desire, to sell courses. And so this is a public-facing web page that you can use to sell your courses, as I mentioned, and you can customize this and add some more information. For example, when we created this a rapid intake webinar course, we just put the word brief in here, but that's just to show you this is where the brief description shows up. And if I was to click further in here, you can see where the full description comes in. And if I want to purchase it, I go here to add it to my cart. And then here, just to take it, all I need to do is add my first name, last name, email address. I would pay with PayPal, and I would automatically be assigned to this course. If I have an account on the system, or if I don't have an account on the system, that will be created for me, and I will be sent an email so I can instantly take the course that I've just purchased. From an administrator aspect, all it takes is just that one setup of integrating your PayPal account, which I'll show you in a few moments what you need to do for that. But again, just trying to make it as simple as possible for you to create your course, assign it to users. If you decide you want to sell it, you check a box, you put the price amount, and then once you check those two items, the course will automatically show up on this course catalog page that we have here. You can put as many courses as you would like, and again, create a revenue stream for yourself if you so decide to, with very little interaction on your part aside from creating the content. Once you do that, your users will have access, and hopefully very simple access to get into the system. As we already showed you, they can come in from an iPad, an iPhone, any type of device. So from our experience with our customers, they have a great user experience with this. From an e-commerce perspective, it's the same. People really enjoy the fact that their users really don't have any trouble accessing content. We offer. I'm going to show you some of the white labeling features. We showed you that you could use your own color scheme and company information as well as the logo that shows up. You can also use your own Litmos domain. You can use your own domain, which you set up here. And we give you instructions on how to do like an A record within your domain registrar to set that up. You also have theme options where you can change your logo as well as the color scheme that you'll find within the LMS. And then the same goes for favicons. So these icons that you see on the top of my Chrome browser here, you can change that to your own organization. And the same goes for an iPhone or an iPad icon. If you want to create a web app and make a shortcut on your iPhone, home screen, that logo can be customized as well. So for the most part, people might not even know that you're using a platform like Litmos. I mean, once you change the domain name, you change the color scheme. For the most part, most of the Litmos information goes away. So this really can look like your own kind of platform that you've created. Here we also have the ability to manage your billing plans. So you can change pricing plans. One of the benefits of using our LMS is that you can control the amount that you spend on it based on the number of users you have on the system. So our billing scheme is tiered depending on the number of active users you have per month. So if you know there's going to be times you're going to have a lot of users, perhaps for some compliance training that happens once a year, you can move your plan up to accommodate for thousands of users. And if you know you're going to be light on certain months, you can move your plan all the way down to accommodate for very little usage as well. So again, just trying to make it easy for customers to not only control the content they create and send out, but also their budgets in terms of what they want to spend on the LMS and how to make that work for their particular organization. One of the other customization aspects is the messaging and the labels that you'll see around the system. So again, we try to make that very simple for people to create. So here on the login screen, you'll see that you can customize the text here, and the same goes for the trainee homepage. As you saw when I first logged in as a trainee, we had some messaging that popped up to the learner base. And then you can also control, for example, when we first created this online course, you saw that we collected the first name, the last name, and the email address. Well, for some organizations, they want more information than that. They want to, for example, maybe capture a license number or perhaps some other relevant information for their users. So in this case, you could make a customized field, make that compulsory, and then upon sign up, you can capture that information through the eCommerce engine. So just another way to kind of capture the information you're looking for and to make it easy for your users to sign up. here is some. Okay, that's not good timing. We set up fire alarm that went on the building. I'll try to continue this as long as I can. But here we have email setup, and the setup is done through the system itself. We have templates that you can use, and these are password resets, new user welcome login messages, as well as new course assignments. I apologize, but I actually have to end this webinar early. This is actually the first time that we've had a fire alarm in the building, and so unfortunately I can't stay here on the webinar, so I have to leave. Sorry about that, but perhaps if there's any questions, we can continue this another time. And if you have any questions regarding the system, you can contact me at Go ahead, Chris. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just going to say we'll take care of this. That's probably the world's worst timing.
Yeah, I really do apologize.
But, yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay. So, yeah, we have security here. I would try to stay on it, but security is asking me to leave, so I apologize about that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ayub.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so obviously that ended a little quicker than we had anticipated, but what I'm going to do is we have this recording up to this point, and I'm going to send this out. I'll send the link out to the recording up to this point, as well as Ayub has a PDF. I'll put a link to that PDF on the web page, and you'll be able to download that, and we'll also put their contact information. You can contact them simply at litmos.com, or we'll put their direct contact information there. So thank you everybody for attending the webinar. I know it ended unexpectedly, but you know, that's how the world is, right? So again, look for an email from us, and we will get back to you soon with the resources from this webinar.